Let's get into the spirit of the holidays by getting into the spirits of the holidays. Eggnog, hot toddies, mulled wine, all part of this festive time of year, and each with its own history. Ray Isle is executive wine editor for Food and Wine magazine. Ray, good morning.
It's great to be here. Thanks.
We got all the drinks, Ray. This is a lousy deal. I don't know.
I got water.
We traded up, though.
Yeah, we've got a whole array of drinks. The first is classic champagne, which let's talk about this.
This is a variation on a champagne cocktail, which is a drink that kind of came around, in the late 1800s, early 1900s. But this is a Southside Royale, which is kind of a mashup of a Southside, which is gin, lime, and mint, and then champagne to go with it.
How did champagne become the drink of celebrations?
Champagne, it started out, it was very popular in Russia with the Tsars. That's actually the origin of Cristal, and I think the bubbles naturally made people feel, this is something festive, this is exciting, and then it just kept rolling. Plus, the champenois are incredible marketers. That they have pushed that really well.
Yeah. I feel like the glass itself is celebratory, so you want to hold it.
Seeing the bubbles go up is celebratory. This is a little more potent. This has got some gin in there too. So
well, speaking of potent, let's move on to the classic holiday punch, because I feel like most people have some version of a recipe of this.
Yeah, and punch has been enormously popular. Well, punch was enormously popular in the 1700s, and it kind of fell out of favor. And then there's been this resurgence of interest just in the past 4 or 5 years, especially with cocktail guys and so on. And this is a punch called a popo punch. It's kind of a tiki variation on a classic punch.
Looks very tropical.
Yeah, it's tropical. It's deceptive. It doesn't taste like there's any alcohol in there.
I
really
love those kind of things.
I guarantee you there is some alcohol in there. And it's from a bartender named Joaquin Simo, who has a bar called Pouring Ribbons in New York City. For our cocktail guide, which we publish every year, we get sort of cocktail recipes from around the country, and this is one of the best.
That's delicious. It really is good.
It's a terrific recipe.
It goes down very easy. I like that a lot.
Get him a straw.
You need 5 straws. I'm sorry. This is mulled wine here.
This is mulled wine. This is a hot spiced wine. It's which again, actually spicing wine goes back to the Egyptian Empire. It goes back to 3500 BC. And honestly, when they started spicing wine, it was largely to cover up the fact that the wine was horrible. So you dump spices in it, and then that sort of moved north. You got warmer, and now you've got this, and this is tweaked with a little bit of kirsch, cherry liqueur.
Yes, I've always heard traditionally this was also, they had medicinal properties if you put stuff in wine.
That was a big part of the spicing of wine, was to give you kind of medicinal aspects to it.
Let's talk about the hot toddy, because as Anthony and I realized,
it's medicinal, by the way.
Yes, it's very good for you.
As we realized in our meeting, I think everybody knows what a hot toddy is, but nobody knows what's in it.
Right. Well, the classic hot toddy is bourbon, lemon, honey, and water. That's sort of what it's become. Honestly, it can be kind of anything that involves an alcohol, a sweet thing, a hot liquid, usually tea, could be just hot water, And this version actually has rum, a little bit of creme de cacao, and we call it a Medford warmer. So it's a little bit of a rum variation on a hot toddy, and it's a classic sort of warm yourself up in the winter, feel cozy and
we got to get to eggnog quickly here, Ray. A quick question: who decided to mix eggs and liquor? I mean,
it goes back a long way. Eggnog came from an English drink called posset in the 17th century. Yes, it does. Unfortunately, it's occasionally a little dangerous.
Saw it coming.
You might. There is a spoon.
I went for the spoon.
And this is a sticky toffee pudding eggnog, where you buy a sticky toffee pudding and you actually steep the cream on it for 2 days.
Ray, we want to tell people where to get these cocktail recipes. Head to our website, CBS This Morning. Popo punch is my favorite. You?
I like them all. It's like high school. I want to mix them all together.